Here we go. Hello, everybody. We have Adrian and Lena joining us tonight.
Howdy.
Hey, y'all.
So, what's going on in the world of tarot readers and Lenormand readers?
Well, for me, I'm actually chronically depressed as of 2 hours ago because Argentina voted in Milei. Now, to get the picture of Milei, imagine Trump, 20 years younger, with a chainsaw. Okay?
Oh.
Yes, that's what he do at his rally. Chainsaw on. And he's just won the election.
He's kind of like Mullins, the one that wanted to fight the witness in the hearing in the Senate.
Yeah. But this guy, you know, he has mad eyes. If he was a horse, you'd shoot him. I'm serious. Like, his eyes are just demonic. Yeah.
It's just taken and make glue out of his nose.
And he's going to cut everything. So that's awesome.
Wow.
Thank you.
What's happening for you, Adrian?
Not a damn thing.
That
Get
could be
ready
a
for
good
Thanksgiving.
Sometimes that's a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
Doing a lot of
We have
client work.
Thanksgiving Thursday. Are you doing anything for Thanksgiving?
Not a damn thing. Yes, that's your
This is the mantra.
The current and the damn future. Not a damn thing. And I'm telling you, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Miss Mecca's got her floors ripped up partially, and and she's in a corner of the room that's neat, and she has a little space.
Oh, true. What are you doing?
Because over there, that's all I had to move my work stuff in here. We had a roof leak, Lena, and it damaged the walls, and the walls got put back in and painted, but a little portion of the hardwood floors downstairs got damaged because it was sitting in water.
Yeah.
Well, the floors are so old we can't just replace them, so they're ripping out all of the flooring all downstairs.
Wow.
And I was talking to Jenny yesterday, and I sent her pictures, and I was telling her, I was like, this stuff, I don't know what they did, if they cemented these floors to the concrete or what, but Jenny was saying, like, there's supposed to be a moisture barrier. And I looked and I'm like, Jen, there's not. So there's areas on the concrete where you can see where there was moisture at one point, and it was all like, I think it's mold. I don't know, but it's just
because concrete wicks moisture up from the earth.
Yeah.
I'm like, who knows what they did when they put these in, but
it's a cow of a job.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. And so Jenny and I and Peanut, my husband, have a running bet of when the floors are going to be done. So Peanut said by the first week of December. Jenny is saying
December 3rd through the 8th, somewhere in that week. So
Jenny's
that's first
saying,
week of December.
Jenny's saying, okay, December 3rd through the 8th, so the first week of December. And I'm saying it ain't gonna get done till before Christmas. Like
yeah. But look, you've got to be grateful. At least they haven't found the body of the other owner's first wife or something.
You know, and I am grateful because it's like, you know, we just paid the deductible and we basically got all brand new paint all over downstairs and new floors. So we basically remodeled the whole thing for the price of the deductible. So I'm just ready for it to be over.
It'll be all right. Yeah.
So, and let's see. I was going over with Jenny yesterday, for those in the chat, over Donald Trump's grand tableau and Mike Johnson's grand tableau, and I found where he's getting the money from.
Ooh.
So Jenny helped me with that because there was one thing I was getting stuck on, and you figured it out.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
Yeah, so
she's got to go live and go through all that.
But with that said, because of my situation here, I have no room. So if I do go live, bear with me. It's going to be on like a little, I don't even know how I'm going to do it.
Right now, she can do straight on shots. She can't do like showing you the grand tableau.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just hold the stick with the webcam which might make it shaky because I have nowhere to clip it to. So, but that would be interesting to figure out, to do the live, to go over that. But, and next week on Sunday, happy early Thanksgiving to everybody in the chat. Sunday, we're supposed to be on my channel, but I have family stuff going on. So Johnny and I are going to switch.
So next week we'll be on Tara's Apprentice, and then the following week we'll go back to House of Lenormand channel.
Because I have Thanksgiving with family. We have Thanksgiving Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm a gain about 800
That
pounds.
sounds like fun. Can I come? Can I roll through?
No, you don't want to, because it's going to be like we're going to be driving all over California, and it's just like, dude.
And I'm from California. Been there, done that. Did that my entire life.
It's like, girl, gas is expensive.
I'm used to doing that drive from Sac down to Southern California and coming back.
But then you'd have to deal with the airports on a holiday weekend.
I've been doing that for decades anyway, because my family doesn't live in DC. So again, I'll pull.
I can't stand flying on a holiday week.
So yeah, so on Sunday we'll be on Johnny's, and then flip it the following week. So, but that's all I have. So,
Mr. Johnny and I are going to try to figure out a time to go live on Thanksgiving Day. Probably after 3 o'clock, like somewhere between 3 and 7. Probably, I think we decided.
That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
You decide, and then I'll schedule when to be awake.
Johnny, you're not cooking anything for Thanksgiving for you and family? No? You want to come over to my destructed house so we can go to the Low Bells?
I ain't making nothing. I ain't eating nothing.
Oh, I'll eat for both of us. How about that? I'll eat for all of us. How about?
I got enough snacks in my refrigerator that can take care of all of that for you, Johnny. A plate. Oh, I do. Can I do a small plug, Jen?
Yes.
Those of you who would like to take advantage of 33% off on Red Little Healing for Black Friday, starting at midnight on Friday, use the code 33FORME, 33FORME at checkout, and you'll get 33% off any of the products.
RedLentilHealing.com. If you need Christmas presents, great time to get them.
That's it. I forgot to say that. So there you go.
I'm not even fixing a turkey breast this year. Last year I fixed a turkey breast thinking the kittens would love it. None of them ate it. I was like,
Are you serious?
I'm grateful.
They weren't, like, they love chicken, but if I get a rotisserie chicken or something like that, they love it. But turkey, they were like, nah.
So,
even Lucy wasn't real big on it, so I was like, okay.
They might know something we don't about hormones and
No,
toxins.
they prefer catnip and Cheetos. That's what
We're junk food junkies.
Catnip and
A
Cheetos.
friend of mine, she insists her cat will only drink water out of a champagne glass. I thought, right. And I said, Margot, someone must have been the first person to put the cat's water in a champagne glass, right? How does the cat know there's such a thing as a champagne? 12 years this cat's been drinking out of a champagne glass.
So does she have to pour the water into a champagne flute and then pour that into a cat dish, or does the cat actually stick the tongue into the champagne glass?
Yeah, she's got one of those broad champagne glasses.
Okay.
And so the cat can stick its whole face in there. Or it will die of thirst.
Oh,
Lucy
no.
will stick her face into any bowl, plate, whatever. She is like the queen of mooching, and she loves junk food. But I have to watch her if I have chips in the house or anything. I've discovered she loves eggnog.
Who doesn't love eggnog? Even those of us who are oh Jesus.
Oh, yeah. 50% of the
eggnog.
world, it seems.
I had to clench my pearls on that one.
It's too thick and
Yeah.
like somebody drank it already and then spit it in the
That is fair. That is
In
fair.
my house, if you have a glass of eggnog on the counter, Lucy has probably drunk out of it. So yeah.
I hated it when I was younger, and then I got somewhere like the age of early mid 30s, and I was like, okay, I recant all
You
of
do
the crap I talked about eggnog. This is pretty delicious, especially when you add some adult concoctions to it. And,
I love brandy and eggnog.
oh, girl, okay, yeah.
All
Oh, I
night
didn't know there was eggnog without brandy.
for Lucy. I don't put brandy in hers. Wow.
Wonderful, wonderful,
So
wonderful.
let's see what's going on. Rosalind Carter passed away today, so
Oh.
prayers to the Carter family. I have a feeling Jimmy's not going to be long behind her.
No,
I'm thinking that
I give her
too.
a week max.
She's 96.
Bless.
Yeah.
So sad.
And going live Thursday sometime with Johnny. We'll fix the time, post it on our community tabs. And we might do some non-political stuff with that too. So anybody that doesn't have family around or needs a break from family, come join us on Thanksgiving.
And I'll be here for all of you.
Yeah, that covers everybody.
You got some MAGA people at the Thanksgiving table. Just put your headphones on, listen to us. If you would like to book a reading with me, I still have a few openings in December. And then I'm taking a break the week after Christmas. So if you don't book in December, you have to wait till January. JenLynTarot.com to schedule a reading. And I do have gift cards available on my website. If you would like to gift someone a reading for a Christmas present, you can purchase a gift card.
Gift the gift of Jen.
And if you scroll through the gift cards, there's one that has my logo on it with the dragonfly. There's a birthday one if you want to gift a birthday present with balloons, and then there's a Christmas one.
Oh, God, you're organized.
Semi-organized.
I don't have any merch.
It's thanks to my guitar teacher's wife. She built my website for me, and she keeps it fixed up. She designed my logo for me.
I see a comment here about coquito. I'll drink the crap out of some coquito all day, every day. It's Puerto Rican eggnog. Oh, it's so good.
What's the difference?
It's like, let me see. I have the recipe here because one of my clients that was Puerto Rican. I was like, I haven't had coquito since I left Miami. Hold on.
Is it a different texture? Like thinner?
Yeah, because what I don't like about eggnog is that it's so
thick, like snot.
Yeah, no, yeah. I can't do it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the.
Is it got a coconut?
Yes.
Okay, I know what that is.
It's 2 coconuts, 2 cups of coconuts, 2 cups of white rum, 1 can of condensed milk, which I love because it's so sweet. 4 egg yolks and a teaspoon of cinnamon.
God dog.
It is sweet. I mean, it makes your teeth hurt, but oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. I will drink some cocoa all day, every day.
That's like the Vietnamese coffee where they put sweetened condensed milk in the coffee. It is so good. It's so sweet, but it's so good.
Coconut cream and rum. That's right.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was born on a sugarcane farm in Queensland, and all the sugarcane went to make rum. And so we had rum with everything. Absolutely. So babies and old people had rum and milk. You know, if you were sick, you got rum and milk. Yeah, for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I remember because when I grew up in Miami, we used to have on the Gaiocho, we used to have guarapo, which is a Cuban drink, which is the sugar canes, and they put it through this machine and it smashes it and it gets all the sugar cane juice out.
Yeah.
But sometimes they would give you the stock and you would just sit there and just chew. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
Becca, you'll have to post on your community tab the recipe.
I mean, God, that sounds good.
For coquito?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send it to you, Adrian. But
post it on your community tab so we can all get it.
Okay, for the coquito, it's
rum balls. Someone's suggesting. Oh, I haven't made rum balls since 1977.
Rum balls?
Balls, yeah.
Rum
Chocolate
balls.
and rum in coconut, and then you put them in the fridge.
Rum testicles. Okay.
Absolutely. You'll be a convert, trust me.
Okay.
Redneck candy bars. Well, since we're starting to get a little petty here,
I'm so done.
Welcome back, Adrian.
I'm so done. I'm like, don't want to get canceled. Keep my mouth shut.
George Santos.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, that's funny already.
We got to start there. You know, Ethics Committee came out with their report. They're sending on to the Department of Justice referrals for additional felonies that he hasn't been charged with yet. He used campaign finance money for Botox, Sephora Cosmetics, OnlyFans porn site, Atlantic City trips, Hermes and Ferragamo, and you name it. He just he liked living a good life.
Well,
I love how they described it as luxury trips to Atlantic City. It's like, dude, have you been to
sorry,
Atlantic City?
that doesn't make sense.
There is nothing in Atlantic City.
Because when you get there, it's still Atlantic City.
First class dining at KFC.
Okay.
Like, okay, well, maybe it was luxury to George. I don't know. So they've called for another vote, and I think it was very smart of the Democrats to not vote him out the last time they looked at expelling him, expulsion. Let this report come out. So now, you know, it was a bipartisan report. You know, there's Republicans behind it. So they're voting again, I think Tuesday on expulsion. It was presented on last Friday. How's his expulsion vote going this time?
Okay, well, I'm ready. I've got the circus cards.
The clown show.
This is a
Put him on the cover.
crap circus. Good night.
Let's see.
Second.
Okay. Oh, what a creature.
Oh, and while we're all together, we will be doing a fundraiser New Year's Eve again. If y'all'd like to join us, New Year's Eve, it's usually our biggest fundraiser of the year.
Oh, cool.
You can come, like we're usually on for 5 or 6 hours, but you can come for as long as you want and come and go if you want.
Let's see.
We hit all the time zones New Year's, starting with New York, so we usually go live around 7 or 8 o'clock, and it happens to fall on a Sunday night this year.
And during retrograde. Mercury retrograde starts on the 29th this year.
Good. So my talking skills are going to be crap. And
Great. We can get Mercury retrograde to start the year.
I think we should all have eggnogs and
What you call them? Donkey
brandy.
testicles? Brandy balls.
rumbles.
Balls.
I'm the rumble queen.
Balls. Y'all.
Is he getting expulsion this time? What you getting, Adrian?
I don't know. Here's what I'm. There is something that's going to come out in the cold. His challenge, though, is getting a new start, going about this the new way. I'm wondering if this is Republicans all about trying to win at any cost. But here's the thing: that they're up. It's not like he's their 210th vote. They still have 3 or 4 more people. So even if they get rid of him, they still have the majority. And half of the stuff they're pulling, their own people aren't voting for anyway. So it's like, why would you risk everything to keep him there? There is a major change that is going to happen in the here and now, though. They're trying to get a plan together. Those on the inside with the Hierophant and the Two of Wands trying to get a plan together. I think there's more that's going to come out about his financial deeds, about him winning and shaking and moving and grooving. And I think those Sephora gift cards may have actually been a cover for something else. And so what I'm thinking is because the loss is in the past. So his goose is already cooked. I just think they may not, if they don't vote to expel him on this one, they're going to come back with more evidence, financial evidence.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. So I don't have a clear cut. Yes, they are. I just get that there's going to be a lot more that comes out.
Wow, what you getting, Lena?
Well, yeah. Eight of Pentacles, they're actually serious about this, given that they aren't about any other topic. They're conflicted, the Five of Wands, because it is a narrow majority they've got. His seat will probably go to a Dem next time round or whatever. So I was a bit surprised because the last two cards, like, this is somebody over the moon and him being whisked out in a wheelbarrow. So I'm a bit surprised, you know what I mean? Will they really do it?
Yeah. He did say he's not going to run for re-election. It's like, yeah, well, you got your expulsion vote first.
Well,
So maybe that's what they're thinking. It's going to go Dem next time anyway, or something. I don't know.
Yeah. What you getting, Johnny?
I got the wheelbarrow.
I don't get yes. I think yes, but these are Republicans, so
yeah, exactly.
It starts with the King of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. So some leader here gives him an opportunity. So maybe, and it's a new leader. This is my new leadership card. So maybe the other secrecy guy, what's his name, Johnson, maybe he goes to him and says, here is a way out of this, or here's a way to not be kicked out of this. You can tuck tail and run or something. There's an opportunity he's given him, not necessarily one he's taking, but there's a conversation there because the Justice and the Six of Cups, there is some innocence and then there is justice. This also is something around a contract that may come up about younger people or some child here. I know he had a child support weird story going on somewhere. So there's something else about that here. And I don't know if he's did a Mike Johnson too, where he went and adopted some 18-year-old person out of nowhere type of thing. There's something strange with child support there. But here, the word warning is the votes. This is the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is my vote, something you'd cast in, like sowing seeds type thing. There's also on this card the rune of Tiwas. Tiwas means honor and justice. And this is also something that is in his word of warning. And so I think if I was to say, I would say yes, they would, because it ends in the Ace of Cups, which is a confirmation. I would say yes. I don't feel yes, but I would say yes because it ends in confirmation. But these are Republicans we're talking about. They are going to stay face no matter what.
No matter what.
And this is the thing, isn't it? We're so unused to them doing a remotely decent or logical act. It's inconceivable they would do this. I mean,
that they would have some ethics. What you getting, Becca?
Next week, I'm not sure. There's a bit of a delay, but his time in the House is done. There's a delay. The House finished. Kaput. Done.
Interesting.
So I don't know. Well, next week is a holiday week, so I don't know how the Congress is working, if they're going to be taking time off or what. I don't know. There's a delay, but then his time there ends.
I get there's a delay too, because I was thinking about it. After they voted to do that extension on the budget, I thought they took early vacation.
They did.
So they may not be there Tuesday to vote. So I think it might get delayed too till the following week. But I get victory in my sun card. Yes. It's like for all his stealing justice, I do feel like someone will take an action to talk to him, to Johnny's point before, like, hey, you could just resign, like to save face, because America's watching you, dude. But I get a big old yes. And shortly thereafter, I think legally DOJ is going to go after him for more stuff, because I got my legal card here. It's like an abundance with that Empress there of like new charges coming in the tower. So he's toast.
I mean, well, what do you expect when you give a thief a piggy bank? They're going to go and spend it all. He's going to buy weird shoes and vacations and all the porn sites he can think of and makeup.
The $19,000 lectern.
Yes.
But
I mean,
I can't believe that he went as far as to steal people's identities and run up their credit card. I mean, well, I can, considering that they did the whole scheme in, was it New Jersey or California, whatever state it was, with the
Jersey.
ATM machines,
oh,
but it's like
Washington State.
Washington State. It's like, so to think that he actually stole somebody's credit card and not think he was going to get caught. It's like, you idiot. Like, like, what are you thinking?
Refresh my memory. Didn't they try to, wasn't there a bill proposed to make sure like a Santos never happens again?
Mhm.
Yes.
Did it pass?
They were they were
Okay.
just short of calling it the George Santos bill, mind
But
you.
it didn't. I feel like they need to run that again.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering after this vote and after the thing that comes out, if they go try to push that bill again and try to run it again.
But I
This is
think
just
the problem is he was so blatant in all his lies and everything. He got caught in it. I mean, you got the Menendezes and their gold bars on the Democrat side, and you got a whole bunch of Republicans that have been, embezzled and taken PPE loans and stuff.
I think they should write a bill that if you're going to run for any office anywhere where you are responsible for public trust, you need to have a full damn background check, because this is beyond ridiculous. Like it's absurd.
Yeah. And even if you only caught the biggest, baddest stuff in that first net, it would be something.
Exactly.
And I'm old enough to remember, because I'm the oldest person on the panel and probably in the world, in Australian politics and Western politics generally, people would become politicians for X years, knowing they would only make a politician's salary. And then the gifts came later, because you would get the speaking tours, the book contract, the thing. All of that's gone. There's no delay now. You have Manchin and all of them just going, pay me, here's my vote, Yeah.
Revolving
It's
door.
crazy because there's too many that come in without a lot of money, and next thing you know, they're millionaires. So let's ask Adrian's question. Will they represent the Santos bill?
Because something like, there's too much evidence now.
Yeah.
And now everybody looks stupid at this point.
Well, all the way to the Supreme Court too. It's like, hello, they're bought and paid
Oh,
for
yes,
it.
the home of ethics.
Yeah.
Are they going to refile and try to pass the Santos bill?
Santos bill. Will they represent it?
I can go if you like, and these cards are particularly hilarious. Okay, so we have the Three of Swords here, meaning they have to, on some level, swallow this stuff down and do something about it. These two, okay, so what is this? This is the Knight of Swords. I love the silhouette, about to throw the knife at Santos. But Santos is sort of bulletproof or sword-proof, which is a worry. I don't know if you can see on my crappy lying on a bed of swords, but the hammer's just about to drop. And then the Devil card. So I think they're going to tie themselves in knots, is what I'm saying about it. There is support for it, even on both sides. There's these and those who support it. But will they have the guts? Don't think so.
They will. I think they will, because with Ace of Cups and Six of Swords, but it's going to be a very watered down version that benefits them. With the Five of Wands, the conflict in a past, that's what spawns this. The outcome is temperance. And with the Five of Swords and the Four of Wands, it's going to be it's like that Supreme Court bill that just passed. Ain't worth two dead flies smashed in a bucket of piss and vinegar, but that's their attempt to say that they tried to self-regulate.
What you getting, Becca?
Yes, once there's a transition.
Interesting. Okay.
There's a commitment here for something very solid that they want to grow on. So perhaps when they take back, I'm trying to be positively optimistic here, considering the crapshoot that has been this last year, that since Republicans have been in office, this never-ending Jerry Springer rerun. When there's a transition, they're committed to something that is very solid. So, and it deals around contracts or commitments that people are involved with, if that makes sense. Also, enterprise contracts right here. So I get a yes.
Because we all know Mike Smith doesn't want his finances looked into since he doesn't have a bank account.
Yeah, poor
But I
Pet.
found it. You and Jenny, you and I found it. You and I.
Johnny, what you getting?
No, not really. Sort of, kind of.
So,
There is the Ace of Pentacles, so here would be your opportunity or reintroduction. It meets the Five of Swords, so the defeat. This is also dishonorable behavior, because why would we want to regulate ourselves? There are some who, yes, because Santos is embarrassing, like a Mitt Romney, people who think that they have ethics and yet still are Republicans, but that's not neither here nor there. But there is some sort of initial defeat. However, there is some victory here after somebody new steps in. Because you need some sort of transition here with the Chariot and the Eight of Pentacles. Somebody new comes into work, probably a new speaker, and then there you go.
I get they don't have enough votes right now, but I do have temperance. So I think what Becca is saying, like, they don't have enough right now, but someone is going to seek this. There's a lot of thieves that are very anxious about this. So even if they just put it around campaign finance, that's a start. That's a start. They don't have to put
here. Sorry, Jen.
They don't have to put it on money they get from lobbyists and all that. But I get, like, right now, it would lose. Somebody would block it. I get bad news, and there's too much corruption, and it's out in the cold. But this, the tower is going to crash and burn. There's going to be new information coming out about PPE loan, COVID loan.
Right there. Right there.
Fraud. And that's going to be my next question, and that's going to affect people in the house.
Jenny, we were talking about this last night on the phone. There was a running list I saw on Twitter of all these sitting Congress members and the millions of dollars they got in PPE, and I'm like,
yes, of course.
Millions.
While voting against it.
Yeah, millions that they don't have to pay back. That they don't have. I'm like, what?
Well, right now, Biden has an IG who is now investigating all the PPE loan fraud. He's the watchdog for it, and looking at where there's fraud and who didn't use it. Thank you, Margaret. I want to know how this IG watchdog, like, are they going to have a lot of fraud indictments to members of Congress? Are they going to have any sitting members of Congress indicted for fraud?
What is
yeah.
again? Can you repeat
the IG, not the AG, the IG watchdog. Will there be indictments to sitting members of Congress for PPE loan fraud?
Mind you, true story. There's a lady a couple years ago that was helping me with stuff with my business. She was like, you should take out a PPE loan. I said, hell no, absolutely not. And she was like insistent, you should take out a loan. You should take out a loan. You've got this business. You can do this. You claim this. I said, bruh, I work from home. Like, I'm not greedy. I don't need it. I kid you not. I found out through Mutual that heifer in jail right now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if y'all are getting the common people, I mean, yes.
Yeah. Look, exactly.
Millions.
The boots, not the suits, yet again.
Right.
The problem is, like, small business owners, like, mom and pop restaurant owners or shop owners and stuff, they took out SBA loans. Now they got a 2.5% interest rate on them, but they're having to pay it back. They're given an extra long time to pay it back. They're having to pay it back. Their loans weren't forgiven. These PPE loans that were forgiven were for millions.
Millions of dollars.
It's the same, and that happened in Australia, in the UK. Giant companies got these PPE.
They did not use it to keep people employed because we had unemployment run up over 17% during COVID, remember? So
Yeah, all of
will
it.
any sitting members of Congress get indicted?
Well, there's another.
Loan
Yeah,
fraud.
I don't mean to ask here as a question, but just talking. If someone is convicted of something serious, they should not get their government pensions.
Right.
Thank you.
Should go
Hello.
away immediately.
Thank you.
Hello. That might improve behavior a bit.
It's unbelievable to me.
All right, you got to go first, Adrian.
No, there's not. It won't. I don't know what else to say. No. There will be some, but they're going to protect themselves, and there are some that are going to keep protecting each other. There are some that are going to have to make a decision. There may be some sacrificed, some that are blocked, because that's in the emotions is the 10 of swords, the actual loss, and the here and now is the having to make some uncomfortable decisions. Those are some are gonna band together, and they've got some scapegoats. So no. Nope.
What you get?
Yeah, I got similar in the sense that once they scratch the surface, it's going to be quite an emotional issue with affecting people. Their fortunes are at risk. There will be some sort of truce here, but basically a defeat in the sense that actual convictions won't go forward, or people will say, I'll start paying it back, or fiddle, waffle speak. But these cards are not about truth, justice, and the American way.
What you getting, Johnny?
So I was gonna do a reading. I didn't know what question to ask though, so I never did. His name is Dean Tran, and he is was a state senator for the state of Massachusetts. He's a Republican, and he has been caught and indicted on many counts of fraud for COVID-19 funds. And so it's happening on the smaller scale,
Yeah.
in the states and people who can catch it in their backyard. But we know there's plenty of it, and some of it has a Trump name on it too, plenty of it elsewhere that nobody does anything about. I have three people here. There's the King of Cups, King of Swords. There's the Fool too. I'm not going to say that's Donald Trump. It's, he's not the only fool in the world. So. But they do meet some Ten of Swords. There is a loss, and it catches up with them. However, to Adrian and Lena's point, they're not going to jail or anything like that. It's like, okay, I owe you this, let me pay it back then. Because here you do have the Justice, and here you do have the Four of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. So you have the collaboration around some sort of savings or some sort of conservatism. So here in this Justice card as well, see that T-was again, the honor. This is Tyr, Tyr, who sacrificed his hand to slay this wolf back here, which didn't work. And so all they really need is for you to give up something. That way it satisfies the teeth of the law type thing. We don't need to come after you unless you are a nobody, because that's the way it works. We have a 3-tiered justice system.
Yes, exactly.
There's those up here. There's those who don't know what to do, and then they get you anyway. And then those who fight then for no reason at all. But there's two men here, or three, I should say, that will be caught up, but they'll just pay it, and this will be a whole story.
What you getting, Becca?
The outcome of the IG watchdog investigation, nothing. It was an opportunity for a lot of funds to be abused. There is going to be some recognition, some fame as to what executives took it, what people in positions of power took, but they gift it back. gift it back. You see, so, oh, I'm sorry you caught me with my hand in the taxpayer cookie jar. We'll just pay it back, you know.
Oh, and then I forgot the last 12 repayments. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why some of these people got millions, like 1.5 million. Like, you're a congressperson. Why do you need 1.5 million dollars?
Yeah, everything about this.
You know, but then make a small business pay every single penny back. Like, make that make sense.
And I get this investigation is going to take a while, but it's going to throw some people off balance. I get what they'll do is basically send a message. So they'll probably fine them as well as make them pay it back. And then there's going to be new details that they'll work out for when something like this happens. They're going to put some guidelines around how do we give money out and these kind of things. But I get like they somehow block, the thievery in the future, but the Queen of Pentacles is my COVID card, and I do get that there are some legal victories with this. And like Johnny was picking up, I'm getting 3 people that took a lot of money, and I do feel like they're going to have a pretty strong case against them for fraud if they'll pursue it.
Meanwhile, let me pay you $1,140 instead of $1,148, and then you're going to send me 99 different fines and then try to put me in jail like I shot Lincoln or something.
And I was about to say, meanwhile, my cat snatching student loans that were supposed to be for 3 years, freaking not doubled, tripled.
No.
When they released the freeze. I said, you got to be cat snatching kidding me.
Yeah, no, seriously.
That is double wide, fat, juicy, 70%
That's insane.
fat, black ass. I ain't paying that shit back. Fuck it.
No, Jared Kushner, millions. A millionaire took taxpayer-funded money. Meanwhile, don't let college kids they can't forgive their loans. Give us all the taxpayer money. When
I thought it was just me. I'm talking about all my friends. My payments tripled. I was like, what the hell?
No. Yep. That's insanity, girl. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's so bad.
I tell you, if they don't do something about the interest rate levels on credit cards and student loans
and housing
and help
housing,
lower those, lock them in. It's no wonder people file bankruptcy over credit card debt, because it takes one health incident to be in credit card hell, and you can't get ahead of it because it's 25-26% interest.
And then they wonder why the economy stalls, because nobody has money.
Each generation has less
dead because they're Americans with preventable illness.
But please tell me how we should all just wait and pray for it to trickle down to the rest of us.
I know. That not drinking Starbucks once a month. If I just save that 1 cup of coffee a month from Starbucks, I choose to be able to buy
you need
a house.
to pull up your bootstraps, Adrian. All that fancy stuff like food.
Gas.
Or start a Republican escort service. They seem to do well.
And here's what I would sell: feet pics on OnlyFans, but the problem is you still got to pay for the pedicure in order to post the feet pics. So I'm still backwards.
And they still take a percentage.
Right. Lord Jesus, help us all, please, because this don't make no daggone sense. I'm sorry to cuss and get all emotional.
No,
this is just
that's
ridiculous.
the way. It's just crazy. It's like everybody in America, the average Joe Schmo, is one health crisis away from catastrophe.
And the frustrating part is something can be done. And you have, in this whole word we're going to get the money from, you have the money for it. And you can do it. You won't do it. Therefore, the frustration.
Yes, exactly. That whole argument, we haven't got enough money, has to be attacked every time. They've got plenty of money.
They got plenty of taxpayer money when it comes to paying themselves.
Yeah.
Katie Porter did a great job took 2 whiteboards, not 1, 2 whiteboards to show the 1.8 trillion Trump got us in debt for.
Yes.
Meanwhile, let Bora Bora attack Bali, and I bet you come up with some aid for them. But it's
and then if I have to explain to one more of my nincompoop circle of friends, they're like, "Oh my God, my taxes! Biden needs to do better." That was Trump's tax law.
Yes.
And it's still
Yes.
applicable. It's still
Yeah.
and it's supposed to go up for the next 7 years.
In
Yes.
Good old Paul
2025.
Ryan.
I know. And again, it's another case of the Dems not talking about it as Trump's tax law is now in. It's going to go up for the next 7 years because Trump put it in. They don't.
We don't do good with messaging. That
No.
drives me insane.
Thank you, lucky girl, for paying Adrian's swear jar tab. Thank you also to Marit and M. Johnson for your super chats I missed earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Mark Wayne Mullins, Mark Wayne, all one word.
Oh, that's cute.
As somebody said on the YouTube, I don't remember who it was, the only one person out of 8 billion on earth named Mark Wayne. Mark Wayne Mullins tried to pick a fight with the president of the Teamsters, Mr. O'Brien, when he was testifying. It's like, you want to deal with this now? Such a thug. And Bernie Sanders had to break it up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how that's going to affect Mark Wayne Mullins' political future, because he said, "Oh, my Oklahoman constituents expect this kind of behavior from me."
No.
You wouldn't let your children behave like that. So
You
why?
can't behave that way at any other job on earth except
That's
a wrestling
right.
company.
Toxic masculinity at its best.
And I've always said that any single one of us come out there and start acting a fool like that at work, we would be fired on the spot. Yet somehow it's applauded in the halls of Congress. Like, what the F?
You stand up. No, you stand up. It was the craziest video.
Meanwhile, they have pictures of Mark Wayne Johnson or Mark Wayne Mullen hiding behind the chairs during the insurrection. Where you at, Mr. Tough Guy? Where you
When
at?
Bernie was hitting that gavel on the little thing that they hit it on, I was like, just hit Mark Wayne Mullins on the head. Just knock him out.
To quote
Violence.
To quote the poet A$AP Rocky, everybody wants to play the tough guy until blank pops off.
Yeah. He was Adrian, he's like hiding underneath the chairs, like all like,
Everybody want to play the tough guy till
and then did you see the interview? Oh yeah, I'll bite him. I'll bite him. I'll bite him. I'll fight him. And it's like, are you Mike Tyson now, biting people?
I was just thinking about to ask Mike Tyson how that worked out with Evander Holyfield. Although he does have earlobe edibles now on his
Takeaway snack.
Earlobe edibles.
Okay,
my
just
God.
a little comment from Darren here, who's living in Sweden. I think, Darren, are you American living in Sweden? In Sweden, everyone gets 5 weeks paid vacation, college is free, universal health care provided, and women have 18 months paid maternity leave.
We're moving on. We're all moving on.
The ugly place of socialism.
Yes, but you pay taxes too, don't you?
Taxes are going to the population
Not a socialist country. Sorry.
instead of the taxes going to the wealthy.
Look, it's a really simple equation, yet it's the hardest thing to convince Americans of, isn't it? Just that fundamental wealth discrepancy.
They have Stockholm syndrome.
They have Stockholm syndrome.
They've been
untied to the Confederate flagpole at birth.
They've been indoctrinated. They had this whole interview. I forget what channel it was on, but this guy was walking around everywhere interviewing conservatives about healthcare. And they were talking to several people, and they're like, well, I love my insurance. I don't want none of these socialist countries where I got to wait 10, 12 months to get help and blah, 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 blah. And so the guy's like, do you know what happens in Canada? Yeah, they got to wait forever to get. And he's like, no, maybe a week. And then the guy's like, how much is your copay? Well, my copay is $5,500. And they're like, you know how much a Canadian's copay is? $0. And then after he debunks it with her wallet all the way down. Well, I don't like socialism.
Yeah, it's the S word that creates this hysteria. Democratic socialism. Let's get used to the term so it's not so scary or something.
Because you can't convince somebody that they're
You
poor
can't.
and
They
hungry
will
unless
stand
you have
on the
an
side
other.
of the road with their dying babies going, no, I don't want socialist health.
You have to have another. You got to give them make them feel that they've got an advantage some way, somehow, even if that advantage is a complete and total disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
Like people who love
the narrative
the
is
ACA
so
hated
strong.
Obamacare.
Yeah. And when it's the same thing.
Same thing.
When it's the same thing, just a different name.
Marklene Mullins' political future. What's it look like, guys?
This I didn't. That's it. That's it. It was.
Yeah, I'm going to do one card too. Yeah.
No, that was the outcome. I was like, damn, you could have just had this be the beginning. That's it. That's it.
What you getting, Lena?
I got the judgment card. I think most people would have put their money on the Teamster winning that round.
Always keep your money on the one that keeps us cool, because he can strategize and fight better than somebody flailing out there. What you getting, Becca?
Endings and significant problems.
What you
I'll
getting,
believe
Johnny?
it when I see it because it is Oklahoma. So I'll believe it when I see it. But
He'd be all right. It is Oklahoma. They don't expect you to behave that way, but they also do not vote on issues. They vote with feelings and tribalism. And so, as an Oklahoman, I can tell you that. There's the Empress and the Queen of Wands. And then there is the Five of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. There's politics and juggling. If you can create a message, deliver it to Oklahomans about a person being unstable and dangerous, then maybe. But if all you're going to do is do an attack ad, they're going to look at it that way. And then they're not going to believe anything you say. And then by the time his election comes up anyway, this is ancient news because 50 other thousand things have happened since then. Now, if he continues to act like a buffoon, would he be kicked out? Marjorie Taylor Greene, case in point. And so Oklahoma ain't that far from Georgia. But it ends in the Six of Wands, which is victory. Also has it's not a swastika. I forget what it's called when it's that shape, but it means many feet, which means he still has people coming out for him. So there's that.
Well, I get he's going to be put in defense mode here. He's going to have legal problems, some sort of indictment, and all these women. I think he's got some female problems. He might have punched a woman or something in the past. He's about to hit court nightmare is what I'm getting, and he will lose the votes next year. He is out. He's done something with women that's getting him in big trouble.
Well, he's probably part of that breed of masculinity where I grew up. It was like, oh, you never hit a woman with a closed fist. Okay.
just slap them
In
around.
public.
All right, to push them through the wall. It's all right to kick them down the driveway, but never with a closed fist.
Meanwhile, you won't hit a man at all.
Oh.
Okay, gotcha.
It's like let's see him take on what's his name, Jason Momoa, the guy that was on SNL last night, the big Aquaman guy. Let's see him take him on, you know.
He won't fight Bernie Sanders. He ain't gonna fight him.
Momoa story, but that's off air. Okay.
So Colorado, the judge in the trying to keep Trump off the ballot thing said, yes, he incited a riot. Yes, he committed insurrection. Yes. But you can't keep him off the ballot. So now it's going to the appeals court. I have two questions. First, how will it go with the appeals court? Will they overturn that? And Trump
Sorry, I don't understand this case. Okay, so who's appealing it? The people who brought the case.
The people who brought the case.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Got it.
Citizens First, or I forget who brought it.
for ethics citizens something or other. They're the ones who brought it up in Colorado.
Yeah.
And Colorado was like, yeah, we get it, but technically,
Yeah, like there's 5 things where it's like, yes, he committed insurrection, but his oath of office as president's a little different, so you can't stop him from running. Thank you, Giovanna.
Yeah.
So
Meanwhile,
Joanna,
he took his oath and incited an insurrection against the United States. So make
So
that make sense. 'Cause
basically, it's a case of semantics.
Yeah.
yes.
What does the oath technically mean to whoever is interpreting the oath at that time? Which is, all law.
Will this get overturned in the appellate court
Okay, so what will the appellate court do?
so that they can keep Trump off the ballot?
Hmm. This is interesting. Oh, wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Everybody that saw what he wrote up, it's like, yeah, he's guilty of this, and this, and insurrection and everything, was appalled that he didn't go all the way and say, yes, you can keep him off the ballot.
Mm.
Aren't there other cases in other states?
Yeah, I think there's 3 others or something.
Okay. So my reading doesn't make any cat snatching sense.
Mm.
I get no when I just did yes, no, and I get no. I get 5 of wands. And on here, that rune is Isa. That means blockade or something that blocks. It means ice, but it's a blockage. And then to explain the no, I pull 2, and then I get the 2 of swords and the Hierophant. So there's indecision within the government. So you have people who are supposed to be making those decisions. They are split on their decision, or there's not a consensus.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I get a conflict with 5 of wands.
I get some type of blockage conflict too.
And I get that too, Johnny. So it's like I've moved to the Toth card. I thought we need the satanic cards here. Like okay, but here's the weirdness. Prince and Princess of Swords, roaring through here, and that's where the conflict is. It's too volatile, too dangerous, too provocative. They will not actually keep him off the ballot. But my overarching card was success, but I don't think it means success of the appeal. It means those who put up the case count this as a success. They've got it on legal paper, at least at one level of the court, that the man did the insurrection. It's like that. Take that success and don't be disappointed when they let you down because they're gutless wonders.
Because I get too in the environment, it is so imbalanced, and this is going to be an emotional decision, not a logical decision.
It's a legal decision even.
Yeah, and it's just like, and there's so much anxiety because of precedent. They're worried about setting precedent. And I'm like,
that's it, yeah.
I'm pretty sure our founding fathers didn't. There's a reason.
Because he kind of set one too, so let's create another, shall we?
He's the first president to incite a riot, insurrection. What you get?
I think there was one in 1862 or something.
In Colorado, will it get overturned? No. They're going to try to weasel around it. But with these 2, are there other cases? Because this says these other ones are successful. So once these go ahead, then the others may look at the other ones and go, oh, look how they worked it. Because this is also the card of work.
That makes sense. That this was the litmus test. That makes sense what Lena just said. We got a victory. We can see now what they're looking at. So then the other cases can kind of rethink the paperwork.
Yeah, because this is like the public is successful, but it's very vast. And then it's how you work it. So it's almost like they're walking on eggshells with this one. But is this the only case where they're trying to keep him off the ballot?
No, there's like 5.
Because
there's 5 or 6 or more.
This is card 20. This is card 16. This is card 14. So I would say somewhere between 16 and 15 are trying to keep him off. And this is one of those.
It'll probably grow after this too. Like more will try to keep him off.
And does anybody in the chat know any cases where they're trying to keep him off the ballot? Because I have 14 and 16, so it's somewhere around there. And once those get successful, then the others follow suit. So I don't know. That's unless I'm totally jacking up that read, but
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Johnny?
Mhm.
He went.
I get he's it's secure right now. I think the justice system is terrified. I think they've watched like the threats with Ngoran and his clerk and everything else and Chutkan. I think a lot of them are nervous and scared to death, so they're pushing it up to a higher court. They feel trapped, and it's wanting to protect their own families and everything, so they're kind of turning their back on taking it all the way. So I get a no, judgment no, in Colorado, but something moves forward in at least 2 other states that are also looking at this, and I think Trump loses in those and he'll be taken off. And then once that happens, you're going to have an abundance of states that start doing it. So Joe Manchin, they're what is that party? Third
no
party,
labels.
no labels. Yeah, wants him to run for president under no labels. Would he sway any votes away from Biden if he did that?
If you
You're
think
saying
it absolutely would, really.
Intrepid Viewer is saying that there's 14 states that have filed lawsuits
Wow.
for the election, keeping them on the ballot. Thanks, Intrepid. I'll have to go look that up.
Jen, say the first part of your question again.
Joe Manchin running for under no labels party for president. Will he take any substantial amounts of votes away from Joe Biden? Because no labels basically, wants to muddy the waters and take votes from Trump and Biden. How would he do? In other words, running under no labels?
Well,
I'm liking this.
Is he going to take significant votes away? No, because he's got the circle of people who support him is very small. Is kind of what I'm getting. And he has a lot of slick talking, wishful thinking, ends with the Page of Cups. I don't think so. It's real small, like small of the people who, basically I got like 3, him, his wife, and his mammy. Those are the only 3 people that are going to vote for him.
Oh, you forgot his daughter too. You forgot his daughter.
Okay. There you go.
What you getting, Johnny?
No. It starts with the 5 of Cups, so quite disappointed, sad, and despondent. There is a woman here who is going to roast his marshmallow, though. It's like she comes out with some sort of message here, and it shames him or does him in some kind of way. I don't know what she said or what she's gonna say, but it's nothing, nothing Epsteinish or nothing like that. But this is some woman who's just about her business, and she's going to say something about like his money and a boat. He's one of them boat people. He's got a lot of boats or something. It's like she's gonna tie a whole bunch of stuff in. He's gonna go away and hang in shame. And so he's not gonna be a factor for Joe Biden whatsoever, I don't think. but we'll see.
What you getting, Becca?
Hold on. Harry Solaris just sent me an email from Axios about more cases to keep Trump off the ballot. 2 in New York, Texas, that's 3, Nevada 4, Arizona 5, Alaska 6, Montana 7, New Mexico 8, Kansas 9, Wisconsin 10, Vermont 11, Massachusetts 12, Virginia 13, South Carolina 14, West Virginia 15, Delaware 16, Connecticut 17, and New Jersey is what number was that? 18?
18.
18 cases. So, and I was getting between 14 to 16. So it was around there where there's cases to keep him off the ballot.
Wow, I thought there were 3 or something.
That's what I thought. So thank you,
I think it
Terry.
was fine.
Yeah, thank you so much for sending that. So I asked, will Joe Manchin run a presidential campaign with no labels? I got he doesn't even run. The runner is missing.
Oh man.
So I get no.
I get if he runs, it's a power grab from the Republicans. It bullies the Republicans, so it ultimately, attacks Trump. So it's no threat to Biden. So go ahead and run, Joe.
That's what do people think in the sense that that's a game changer? So many doing that, right? Because I would have thought if there's 2 or 3 and 1 or 2 of them say he's up the bat, that would lead, I would think, to a lot of violence and mayhem that's probably even worse than him losing the election. But this is a lot of states.
That's a lot. So I want to ask a question we've asked before, but I want to ask it a little differently. Will Trump win the Republican Party primaries? Will he win? I always like to check in with this energy.
Decision? Sorry, when do they make up their minds?
March 4th, the day that he starts with Jack Smith's case in DC, is what did they call that Tuesday?
Super Tuesday.
Super Tuesday. They start in January, I think, with the first elections, but that's Super Tuesday, and it's all done by summer.
It'll be Taco Tuesday because somebody will celebrate, I'm sure.
We will be celebrating. Be funny if a lot of people, if they decide to televise that case, if a lot of people stay home to watch it on TV instead of voting.
Well, I can just sleep in here. Look, all things being equal, yes. No one's near him. This is the 10 of Cups here. So they're running with a man that's scheduled to hang.
Dead man walking.
And they're going to have to
say that, Ronnie. I was just going to say that.
And then they're going to have to make a plan because something else will happen, So I think he'll get the nomination. But I've never seen him at the end of 24 sort of really there. So those cards make me smile.
Those were my exact cards too, because every no card popped out immediately. Tower, my 10 of Swords is actually, the challenge is the Tower. My 10 of Swords is at the Crown. Grief and heartbreak is in the past, but in the environment is the Sun. So I think he gets the primary, but he doesn't go further after that.
Yeah.
And that's what always happens, Adrian. He can win a primary. He can't win a.
You can't win a general without him, or you can't win a primary without him, but you can't win a general with him.
No,
I get that he maintains his advantage. He maintains it. So, will he win the Republican primary? This is a yes, but I'm with Lena and Adrian on this one. I've never seen him like getting there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I get yes. If I just ask yes, no with the Sun, and then why, I get the 5 of Wands in the World, conflict with the audience. And so the Republicans are still divided because you have a Trump problem that you have had for some time, but it's all you, boo.
Yeah. I get the thief will sneak on by, surprise, but his time is coming. So I do get a yes that he'll probably win the primaries. But then everybody's watching his corruption and everything, and then I get the thief is somehow confined or restricted. So maybe he finally gets locked up in that mental institute I keep seeing him in.
I don't see him making it to the election. Like not making it to the election.
Yeah, I don't think he will either.
Exactly. And I remember seeing that about 2 years ago or something. Like just couldn't see it.
I could be wrong. I just can't see he's either hanged up or taken out by one of these cases, or something happens where
something happens. And my biggest fear is Nikki Haley. I just hope the GOP are misogynistic enough to not go with her.
I still don't think, even if it's her, she won't win. She won't beat Biden.
Because every reading I do for Biden, a woman is the biggest problem he's going to have in 2024.
Yep.
And I don't know who it is.
Could it be?
Let's go to that.
Could it be that because they can't take down Joe Biden, they start attacking Kamala Harris because she's a female and she's black?
Could be.
Two things that the Republicans hate the most.
Because she has that Hillary energy too, to where even some Democrats don't like her, and so she doesn't. She's a lightning rod for that type of.
So can someone tell me, why don't I like her?
A lot of people don't. She just rubs people the wrong way.
It's weird. That is a problem.
Yeah.
Well,
that might not be Nikki Haley. It could be that we'll go after Kamala Harris to take down Joe Biden.
Well, that's already started. That's the underground talk. Is a vote for Joe is a vote for Kamala because she's too old. He's too old. They think he's going to die in the middle. So if you vote for him, you're voting for her. And so that's the fear tactic they've been implanting for the last 18 months. Is a vote for him is a vote for her. So you're going to have a black Asian woman as your president.
Yeah,
I've always gotten that a woman is on the ballot against Joe, so it won't surprise me if it's Nikki Haley. But if he wins the primaries and then something happens and he's taken out of it, and they've already had their primaries, the RNC, I guess, is going to have to vote on who got the second most number of votes, to put in his place if he's not on the ballot by November.
But why would Republicans vote for a woman that is an immigrant with the first name they can't pronounce? Those are things they all hate. It's things that they all hate, like make that make sense to me. You've primed your audience to think that way for decades and decades and decades. And then you put someone there that represents those same things. You think they're going to get support. Like,
you're talking about an emotional vote though. She's going to be able to say something that can get them to muster just enough.
Okay.
Because as long as it's not grandpa and the black woman.
Yeah.
So Ohio voted to keep the women's reproductive rights available, and the Republicans are losing their mind and want to block it and ignore the vote. So will Ohio respect the will of the voters and keep women's reproductive rights available that just got voted through?
You want to talk about a revolution that will not be televised?
Gil Scott Heron.
That's going to be ugly. That is going to be ugly.
Well, it's that thing too. People have to realize they're going to have to fight for democracy if you want anything resembling the D word from now on,
So if they're not going to honor our votes, just like the insurrection, they didn't want to honor our votes, and you have to stick, go out there and do whatever you can to keep our democracy.
God, this is not looking good. Oof.
So will Ohio voters get to keep the women's reproductive rights they just voted on?
There's some bullshit afoot.
You think?
I do not like the answer to this. Wow.
I get no. Ten of Swords. There's also Ansus. Ansus is like the realm of the gods, the people who make the decisions. And I get Judgment right after that. And then I get the Eight of Wands, Conversations. So they're handing out some sort of speeches. This is not a legal thing that they're handing out. This is a verbal thing they're handing out. So it's like, I heard what you said and I'm ignoring you anyway. These two runes here, these are Nalthits. This means restrictions and desperation. And so it's one of those last stand type of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, thanks for voting, but we don't like what you said, so we're just going to ignore it.
Yeah, like they were trying to do in Mississippi. No matter what you vote for, we're just going to put in the people we want anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here's this twofold: the people and completion. Here's your Seven of Swords as your challenge. That manipulation, trickery. Five of Swords at the crown, Five of Cups at the base. This is not pretty, and the outcome is the Four of Swords. They're gonna squat. It's like this bill never existed.
Yep. I guess they gaslight, cover it up, and what's going to happen? I think because the women are celebrating that this got passed and everything, but I think what's going to happen is they're going to have to break it down and vote in more Democrats in the next election, and then it will be put into law and remain, and it will be secured for women. But it's going to take another election, so they got to flip their state legislature.
Will they?
Yeah, I got that too. Look, emotion. Women with the sword raised, but this is the GOP boxing them in, not letting it go forward. So it will come to the next election exactly that. But I think women will be ultra fired up by this boxing in.
The same evil shit you do is the same evil shit that takes you out.
Yeah.
I get, are they going, I asked if they were going to uphold the will of the voters. No. But if there is any fuckery afoot, there's protection and legal arguments that they lose. Exactly. So if they're like, yeah, that's nice, thanks for coming, we don't care what you said, and they try to write it into law, it goes to a court or it gets legal dispute. It's like you can't overturn the vote. You can't. So I get that they're protected. Well, the people and children are protected on legal disputes that they lose. So.
Wow. Did you go, Johnny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did.
Did you go, Jen?
I just want to check in with Jack Smith with his energy. How is he doing in general? Because he's juggling a lot. He's having to respond to loose cannon and Chutkan case, and he's still meeting with the grand jury and got witnesses. Just in general, how's he feeling about his cases with Trump? How's he doing?
Lisa BZ is saying that Mark Elias is going to take the case in Ohio. That would be awesome. Because Mark Elias has been whooping Republican ass left and right. So how's Jack Smith doing in general?
In general, because he's got so much on his plate. Is he feeling confident? Is he
How you doing?
Is he getting ready to come out with more indictments for other people, or more indictments against Trump, or how's he doing? Like, I'd like to see him charge Trump with RICO like they did in Georgia.
Totally.
And now that he's been said in Colorado to have committed insurrection, get him on insurrection and treason.
Whooshka.
I think he's fine. I often say I want a a mental expose done on people who want to be president. I want to know in the mind of the person who wants to do that job. Like that's different. But for these type of people, I would say I don't want to do the job because I don't like reading. But these people enjoy this type of thing, and on a certain level, like they like digging, they like the forensic part of it, they like the let me turn over every rock, and then when something pops up, it's like success. Those little moments like that. I get the 10 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups. He is really enjoying working with his team. I don't know if they haven't in a while, or at least these team of people. They all seem to be of the same mind, be of the same profession type thing, but it's going really well there. There's the 4 of Wands and the 6 of Cups, and so more great energy around people that he's familiar with and that he's been with for some time. The King of Swords and the Star and the 7 of Pentacles. You also have to keep in mind, too, that there's a formula to his work. It's not like he just sat down with 9 boxes on the table. Like he knows, start here, it goes there, it goes here. Even when there's setbacks, he knows how to bring all that back on page. He's not a rookie. And so you have the King of Swords here, and you have the Star, which is the hope and inspiration. And then you have the 7 of Pentacles, the time that he has put in. He's waiting for his harvest. His issue is the Wheel of Fortune. This is time, fate, and destiny. So he is against the clock here. But it ends in the High Priestess and the Sword. So he feels as though deep down in his gut, he's got the right thing and he's on the right track. And so he feels fine. I think, us out here have chewed our fingernails and the people's next to us, but he's fine.
He is. It was so funny. The first card that came up is the King of Cups, and look at like how turbulent the water is, and all these fishes jumping out. And this dude is just row your boat gently down the stream. Mother sucker is as calm and cool and collected as a polar bear's toenails. He is just like Johnny said. I'm in my lane. This is what I do. I am not sweating this. It's almost like he's impervious to everything going around. He's just like, just keep rowing. And I got a little smile on my face. I'm really good because he's so level-headed. He's so balanced. I wonder if dude's a Libra because his ability to be able
I think he's a Virgo.
Is he a
Can
Virgo?
people let us know in the comments? Jack Smith.
There's something in there that gives him the ability to not only fight for justice, but also just to be balanced. He can see both sides. So when he's going to be very rarely surprised when something pops up because he's already seen it and predicted it.
He's like 10 steps ahead, isn't he?
Yeah, thank you, Jen. I should have just said that. That mother sucker's always 10
He's already
steps
seen
ahead.
it.
And because of that, it's not that he feels victorious. He just is. It's just
he feels victorious.
Wait, and I got it too.
Okay, so he's gonna get to calmer water. He's gonna move through this, and I pulled one of my funny cards and says, "My future is golden, sparkly explosion of fucking awesomeness." He's just like,
I know. Well, he
which
cut
is
his
the equivalent of the sun card that I got.
Yeah. Oh, Jen, we've got the same cards. Yeah, I think it's like Johnny said, and Adrian, he loves this stuff, the minutiae and stuff. And he did cut his teeth on war crimes. We're talking, hardcore people that make Trump look like a teddy bear, right? So he can deal with this. The first card I got was abundance, and I think that's the abundance of evidence. His key job is just what to not use and focus on this, right? He does the mundane detail really well, the plotting thing. He's also got the helicopter night, the overview. He's got both those things. Sometimes people specialize in one or the other, but he gets both. He's got the reins in his hand for going forward. He gets the victory card and the sun card. So short of Aileen Cannon dribbling this case on till 2029, there can always be awful, awful things, but he's doing his bit.
What you getting, Johnny?
I went already.
Oh yeah. And Becca, did you go?
No, I didn't. I pulled a box spread on him. So just to give a quick and dirty, what's on his mind, there's a couple of opportunities that he's a little bit confused about, but he knows he's going to be absolutely successful. And if I take all those three together, it's Trump. He's got Trump on the brain. Like, I got you. I got you. He has all the answers that he needs. He knows he's going to be very successful. There are a pair of women in the law. Two. Birds, Tower, and woman. There's a pair of women in the law, in court. One of them is favoring and kind of playing cover for the Trumpelstiltskin, because I follow it this way to where it tees. The other is very by the book, by the law. But down his column, it's the clouds, the man in the tower. He's good to go. He's good to go. The law is on his side. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if it's Trump, Cannon, whoever. The law says this, you will follow and adhere to the law. So he's confident that the law is on his side against whatever shenanigans one of these two pairs of women is playing. Let me see here. Also, him and his wife doing really, really good. Yeah, he's passionate to move this thing forward and get it over with. Just be, not like rush the case, but let's move it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a timeline. Yeah. So he's fine. He's absolutely fine. Law's on his side, if that makes sense. Yeah. So
I get he's doing great. He's already feeling victorious here, and justice and judgment. He's in charge, and he's ready to bring these thieves down. Thank you, Breeze. I get, like, the more people talk, there's going to be another action. Something is coming in really soon. So I think he's going to have some more indictments really, really soon. When I get really, really soon, for me, that's like within like the next 8 weeks. So kind of watch for that. Maybe by January, there's some more activity. But strength and the sun, slow and steady wins the race. He is in charge. He's got the evidence. The ones that they're asking questions to are the nervous ones that are put in defense mode. So he's fine. He's just staying on the game.
And it's funny because the first column was Clover, he, and Birds. He gets really lucky and gets all the answers he needs from the people that are interviewing. Like, everybody's just singing all over the place. There's just cacophony of birds just singing. So
yeah.
I was watching Midas Touch, or one of those legal panels, the other night talking about Georgia, and one of them was saying it could be that every defendant turns. So there's only Trump and like 18 co-defendants who plead guilty. We could see that.
That's kind of how it's starting to play out, though.
It's
play out.
It's possible.
Well, we got Judge Aileen Cannon. I know Becca's going to set this one out, but then she's going to tell us what's in the grand tableau that she was looking at. Judge Aileen Cannon keeps jacking up stuff in her filing. She's not doing everything in legal filing. Sometimes she's doing it verbally, so it's not on the docket in the records. And when she is, she's leaving the most important stuff out about the document case because it's top secret documents. So Jack Smith had to school her last week because there was a deadline for Friday for resolving something that she left out. Is he going to get her removed before this thing ever goes to trial? Is he going to go to the 11th Circuit and get her removed from this case?
Look, I'm sure it's not easy to get rid of a judge too. Oh,
but I'm sure, like, he's had some other things he could have like gone and tried to get her removed for. I think he's like with Trump, he's trying to get a lot of stuff so that there's no question this woman needs to get removed.
She was overturned by the 11th Circuit twice before she was assigned this case, Lena.
Yeah, and she'd only done 4 cases and was overturned on 2.
Yeah, so she's not.
She also got in trouble for not swearing in witnesses and all kinds of crap in her 4 cases she had.
I mean, that is a flunky beyond flunky right there, you know.
Hmm.
But my point is, I'm sorry, she should not have been in the roulette wheel to be available with that little experience for the biggest case in modern history. She should not have been one of the names even possible.
Well, what a coincidence that her name was the chosen one.
Well, indeed.
And again, that beautiful coincidence may be what keeps her there longer than need be. This is something we're gonna have to watch out for. I don't know if she will get removed. What I do know is that she's gonna make this very difficult for everybody through gross incompetence, negligence, and also trickery. Because here she is with the magician being the one to kind of manipulate, pull things around, pull the cloak over people's eyes, i.e. not putting things into record. So when they go to look for it, it's never there. The victory of him getting her out is what the challenge is. She is going to make this so cat snatching difficult. This is just going to be burdensome. With the hermit withdrawal, I keep getting things are actually withheld. So not anybody, but there could be evidence or things that are actually withheld. But it is going to be very difficult. Like that, it may actually come back to bite the whole case where it ends up. What do you call it? Mistrial or something like that, because she's withheld so much. So I think the answer I'm getting is she may not get removed, but she does so much crap that they end up having to have a mistrial and redoing it. And that's what ends up getting another judge, if it even gets to that point.
I mean, how many strikes? I get it. Lifetime appointment, but I mean, right now she's batting 0 for 0, girl. Like,
yeah, it's going to get worse, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Cards before we see anything of a resolution.
Yeah. Will I go, Jen?
Yeah, absolutely.
I pulled the Russian cards for this. So it's like time is against her. This is the time of card that, you know, people are watching. Every legal mind in America is watching what she's doing. People are talking about trying to get rid of her and all of that stuff. But it's like the momentum. This trial's so huge, it carries its own momentum regardless of what she's doing, sort of thing. She's progressively isolated like a shag on a rock. But I think, this is my card of the whistleblower, there'll be some scandal about her and her practice and stuff, which plays into Adrian's point, that would increase the risk of a mistrial, this revelation here. When people hear it, it's like a gulp moment. But this is not necessarily a good way for this whole thing to go. Better. Okay.
What you getting, Johnny?
I just asked yes or no. I get yes. Will she be removed? Yes. Ace of Swords, confirmation. Why High Priestess, Five of Pentacles? Something is missing.
Sorry.
And there's some inner work here. And so, yeah.
I get wishes granted on the bottom. A higher judge, a higher up judge, big old yes will remove her. She's showing up here as the Queen of Cups, and someone is offered the job. So she's got to go. She's going to go. I get it's just a matter of time before Jack Smith's team goes after her and burdens her, and then Justice, she's got to retire from the case. So it'll get to calmer waters eventually, but I think she'll go. So Becca, you want to explain a little about what was in the Grand Tableau?
So she's down here, Tower in the House of Woman. Okay, this column up here is the one for November where we're at now, and we're seeing here that the news has arrived from a judge setting the date on the calendar. 5, which is the tree, in house, which is card number 4. 5, the tree, is the number or the card for the month of May, January, February, March, April, May. She has set it for May. It's subject to change. Okay. And that's the woman that is local to Trump in his district that brings the news about something that was classified and stolen. Does that make sense? By December, she makes another bad decision. There's a really bad decision that's made here to favor Trump and give him protection. That causes, we have the Fox and the House of Whip, the investigators, the people that are investigating Trump, because she's going to make more bad decisions, to argue in the House of Whip in the House of Lilies, with the Lilies, or Whip is card number 11, the 11th Circuit. You follow in House Lilies, which is up here. The Lilies have senior position. Those are the wise ones. Not so much an authority, but they're the ones that kind of set the law for everything else beneath them. Are you following? So December, January, February. By February, there's something that happens here where she gets overturned and it gets transferred away from her. So
some bad move in December, and then she's gone.
And then it just kind of just starts the ball rolling. January, February, here she's overturned. Her decision is overturned. And then right below it, Tower, and then Ship, her case is transferred. And then if I follow that chain around, it's the Ship, the Anchor, the Rider, the Snake, the Fox, the Lilies, and the Whip and the Lilies. So the transfer news that there's a transfer that's going to be happening. It's going to be achieved because of trouble and manipulation that was argued with the 11th Circuit, and the decision is wise. Do you see what I'm saying? So between December and February, it's looking like. But in this grand tableau, but in this grand tableau, it only goes to March of next year. And this one, it shows that he's still innocent, but in the early stages of being set on trial to be guilty, child in the house of cross. So I'll wait a little bit more before I do another one. And
I was going to say, wait till December so that you can get through November election time.
Yeah.
Do another one. And when you get your floors back.
I can't imagine how complicated it is if she was found to be inadequate or whatever. And it would surely start a whole new trial. I don't think they can just continue with a new judge.
Well,
does anyone know the legal answer?
I'm not a legal expert, but from what I've heard from Midas Touch and everything, she has screwed up everything so bad that it's almost like you have to restart everything all over again.
I'd imagine so.
It's like a mistrial. They have to start all over
which is a nightmare in itself.
Yeah.
But she's taken so long on things that she should have made decisions on quickly that getting another judge in, it would move along faster than it is with her. So replace her.
That's why my warning card for him was the Wheel of Fortune. It's like time is his enemy, not much of anything else, because he has things that he can do to correct other things, but you cannot correct time at all. And so.
And Midas Touch too was speculating that she set the May date of 2024 to try to stall the other cases.
Georgia, particularly,
Yeah. So Fannie Willis was like, "All right, you want to play that game? I'm going to start my trial in August." So it's like, So, but this right here doesn't show that it's set. It changes with the storks. It's like she keeps changing it, going back and forth. So. I don't know.
Well, Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, is going to be releasing the 44,000 hours of video from January 6th for entertainment purposes, only YouTube. The same 44,000 hours of video that was given to Tucker Carlson. Remember, McCarthy, I think, was the one that gave him all the video. First, in giving that out, because it's multi-cameras, multi-directions that this footage was taken from, there's speculation that someone, especially with AI experience and everything, could figure out locations of all the cameras and everything. So if they wanted to try again, kind of thing,
Yeah.
it could jeopardize the security in the Capitol by releasing all these videos. So I want to know, first of all, um, would anyone try to utilize all this to affect the security in the Capitol?
What's the question?
Would anyone try to figure out like where all the camera locations are so that they can use it on a future attack on the Capitol?
Yeah, I don't even need to pull anymore. Yeah, it would. Somebody is going to go out, use this to their advantage. There's going to have to be a lot of defending, protecting, going back, and they would. I mean, yeah, this would be their plan. They actually want him to do this. So yeah, it would. Yeah, it's oh god, yeah, no. We'd have to get the calmer water. Yeah, it's not a good look.
I think Trump's pushed this. He's turned up here as the emperor. So I think they're hoping. Right, so here's the 5 of Pentacles out in the cold, and here's a 10. It's like they're hoping they can show just the calm stuff and win their people over and bore everyone else into submission with the sheer volume of ours.
For the narrative, Lena, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it could be. But the question, will it lead to problems? Absolutely. They're looking at it now. Judgment, it absolutely will. Yeah. But it probably, to a certain extent, already has. There's enough out there, actually, that if you were, hyper technical, you could work it out. So I don't know if the extra footage is going to really make a difference. I think people are already working on that, is what I'm saying. Not in a good way.
Yeah. Miss Adrian.
Loose lips sink ships. And have you ever had somebody come, like, have you ever gone to a house party or gone or like been at work and be like, oh, I was at Becca's house. She's got these floors that have just been ripped out. And, her and Peanut are trying to do all this, they must get money. What I'm trying to say is what Lena said, it's already kind of out. Those who already broke in have been telling, just go down the hall to the left, go to the right, go upstairs, and they'll let you in. And then the video footage is just going to further solidify. Yep, he was right. Go upstairs, take a left, take a right. Yep, Becca and Peanut did have their floors ripped up. We're not going to get the whole story. It's just so I don't know.
And let's not forget that you had sitting members of Congress giving people directions and posting maps online.
They already know.
Are they ever going to be charged with that or anything?
I would love to see it. You just because you're a congressperson should not insulate you from you committing.
Apparently, it does for absolutely everything.
I get. Yeah, but there's already a team of people working to change things. So if, like, we're talking about security cameras, they're being moved. An opportunity to move it to more secure locations. Like they're moving stuff.
Also heard infrared, and that same bioscan. Anybody who's flown lately, that's some of that's going to be a lot more of that's going to be installed.
Yeah. I'm getting the same thing. There's a team working on looking at it differently because it's all over the internet already. So they've hired people to go in here because they're nervous about attacking the government and people returning and everything. So they want to avoid another insurrection. So I think they're changing locations, and I think in particular too because Nancy Pelosi's office was targeted big time. So I think they're looking at some of the leadership people's offices, making sure there's some heightened security around them as well. You know,
And
it
wasn't
wouldn't
there,
surprise me, like if they turn some of the leadership position offices into like safe rooms with, maybe a steel door or something.
I was actually thinking putting them in the basement.
Yeah.
I
Crazy.
just heard basement too. I think that the big high flyers will be in the basement.
I mean, what didn't they take the panic button out of somebody's office?
Yeah, one of the house people. Well, and the other thing that happened on X, formerly Twitter, they were already posting videos that were manipulated. So they were taking videos of Pelosi and Schumer talking to Mike Pence on speakerphone and cropping other people into the image. So there's manipulation for propaganda purposes. So they know like releasing all these videos is going to create more opportunities for propaganda.
How about we just not and say we did? We don't.
And as Deb says here in the comments, they also removed the metal detectors. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, I did too. I forgot about it.
Yep.
Tennessee is refusing funds from the federal government for education. So, in other words, the Republicans are trying to privatize the schools and control the schools and what they can teach and everything by not accepting any money from the federal government. So, I want to know, will Republicans be successful in privatizing schools in their states? They keep pushing the charter.
That's a big one.
Schemes.
That scares me more than like anything that's going
Exactly.
on.
It makes my blood run cold.
They're indoctrinating, young people, basically.
God, these children already can't think past their front nose.
But that leads to the
Can't
fall
buy
of
teachers.
civilization.
Can't buy teachers to stay in the classroom.
Yeah.
We're going to have a whole generation of Mark Wayne Mullins people coming up. Let's just fight about everything.
Our teachers here are still on strike, I think. I think they go back next week. They were on strike for some time.
I got on a tangent. What was the actual question? I'm sorry. My blood pressure went up so high. I saw stars. I got dizzy. I had to talk to you to calm down. I'm sorry.
Will Republicans be successful in privatizing schools in their states, like in the states where Republicans control the state? Just like they did with women's health care rights, will they be successful in privatizing schools? Or will this get stopped?
But families get vouchers, whatever that means. Mail vouchers. So I don't know if that's part of the privatization.
It is one place.
Yeah, because it's families, success, and then vouchers. So, but this right here with family, it could also be, local areas, districts, maybe. So I would hate to generalize all of them. Do you know what I mean? So like if there's like 16 or 17 states, that doesn't mean all of them are going to privatize it, So, but I get vouchers of some sort, mail, stuff that they have to mail.
I got something similar. It's all about money. So certain, what they're going to do. Oh, how do I explain this? Because it's all money. Money. Pinnacles, emotions, pinnacles. Not a freaking sword anywhere in this cat snatching me. Not all of them, but there will be a couple of them that do it. It's going to be some type of collaboration money type of situation that the government is going to go, the state government will control. So like, it'll look like, if I had to explain this in English in normal terms, more charter schools.
Yeah, which is bad news
taxpayer-funded private schools so that the rich people can get another tax break on the backs of regular taxpayers. And yeah, please. Oh, and then, by the way, because it's a private school, we're going to force our religion down your kids' throats every day because it's private.
You're going to get more disparity. What the Ten of Pentacles was actually in the environment. So you're going to have it's like how it is now, but on steroids. So you'll have communities where, you know, the housing market for that particular area, your housing, even though it's like a regular 4-bedroom house, is worth 18 million just because of that school district to get the tax breaks. But then go down 2 blocks, that house is worth 200,000, all because of that school that's now a public school and not a charter school.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a fundamental pillar of democracy to have a good public school system. And those days are long gone.
Yeah.
You know, like, so we're talking anti-science, anti-everything, you know. I get a mixed bag in the sense they will be successful in some places because of the money. But people are suckers if they're offered money, and I think that's one of the deal. We'll give you $3,000 towards your voucher program or something. And we had a similar stupid system in Australia, talk about unintended consequences. So giving every mother $5,000 cash when a baby was born, which sounds great. And then they became known as the plasma babies because the underclass would buy the television, not the diapers, you know, like. So it's going to be a double whammy, I think, they'll be lured in by this short-term hit of money and then left with a defunct education. But I do get futility and disappointment. So I think in the end, and I think, someone said in the comments, Moms for Liberty have done badly in the last 2 weeks. So I think it'll be yes in some places, it'll be on steroids, it'll be grotesque, and then other places will sort of go, well, maybe I don't want my kids to really do that. Maybe I want them to learn to read.
I also keep hearing colleges, because eventually these kids won't be able to they won't even be able to buy their way into a good college.
Well, it'll probably be a religious institution anyway, so it could be a mercy.
Yeah, and Adrian, when they do all these private schools, and like Lena said, shove religion down people's throats, it's going to be privatized, tax-funded religious schools. Good luck with these kids passing SATs to be able to get into college.
They're not going to be able to get, especially competitive schools.
Exactly.
There's just
that's
it'll be like Mike Johnson, where they're accountability partners for how much porn you watch.
I think that's important in parenting terms.
Can I tell you how pissed off I would be if I went to www.po and then my mama texts me, like, get off the Pornhub. I was looking at popcorn. It was P.O. I was about to be P.
I was looking for the Washington Post.
Popcorn. Like, I was about to go in the Pornhubs. What are you talking about? I'd be so pissed.
This is twisted puppy stuff. Is it not?
Isn't that sick? Like, what father has their teenage boy as their porn accountability?
That is so
See, that's the I can understand the religious parent wanting to monitor the child. I don't get the other way around.
I bet you they have their
I really don't get that other way around.
That's like, I saw you watched Puppies last night, and the son's like, and I saw you looking at unicorns, toenails. That's it.
So, Johnny, what'd you get on the school situation?
No, not really. I got manipulation. That is not a word.
I like it.
Break that down for me.
I got the magician, which is manipulation. If I use the two different words together, that's what happens. But manipulation of public funds is what I get with the Five of Pentacles. And then the Emperor, I think, once you have a regime change, then other things start to change as well. And so the Emperor is your word of warning. So whoever's at the top, like the Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who siphoned public money and put it into public schools, that's what's happening. Is she's just, because the Five of Pentacles is here, she's basically taking from the poor and giving to the rich. That way your school can suffer or maybe even shut down, and then you're forced to go here too. So that's what I get. Public money for private means.
What'd you get, Becca?
I already went.
Oh, I get this is their harvest. This is where they're planting their seeds. They want to do more of this. They're working diligently. And yeah, that Moms for Liberty, they're working very diligently on this. And their strength behind their communication to organize all this. So, but I get a lot of moms, a lot of women would fight this. There is big money behind this. But I get ultimately no, but there might be a few that they break down that way and get privatization started. Okay.
Can I just say something there? Because this is a bigger problem. It's a problem in Australia too. Because politicians send their kids to private schools, every 5 minutes they give better conditions. They're already, got generous tax things, everything. They keep doing this because their own kids are there. I think Dems post a victory in 2024 should do that. Bite the bullet and say no more tax breaks and public funding for private schools. Where the loss, you'd lose every evangelical voter. Goodbye, see you later. You didn't have them anyway. Just change the culture by doing that. And I think if it was done in the right way, people would get it and just go, no,
Final question for the night. If Mike Johnson were to talk to George Santos about, you need an accountability partner for OnlyFans.
I hate you so much. I hate you.
Who would he be able to get an accountability partner?
I think Deb in the comments says, I think it's a way for them to share porn.
I think so too.
My answer. I think that's
Why not just pass them in the kitchen and say, hey, did you see that such and such? You got to be an accountability partner with this.
George Santos, who would be his accountability partner? George Santos.
Okay. Shall we make it a one-card pool?
Yeah.
I need more to describe the partner. Who would his?
Oh, okay. No, back to traditional. Oh, there we go.
Someone that's very, very friendly and likes to do it doggy.
This is so gross. It's a young woman who's really good with technology. A young woman who's real good with technology.
I get healthy stamina and likes to do it doggy. So.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, well.
I get a younger man that he befriends in jail.
I need Johnny to fix his face.
I want to know why he got an accountability partner and everybody got somebody different. Like, how many do you need, Sarah?
Oh, really?
I get that he gets three. He gets 3 accountability partners.
He needs one for every name he's created for himself.
Yeah,
I
think personalities.
One for all of his identities.
He probably has 5 different accounts on OnlyFans.
One for each of his toes.
No. Oh, what a scary thought.
I got it's a DILF, and I'll let you Google that yourself. How about that? Somebody that he is in somewhat love with the love.
You know, Johnny, that's the most likely. The DILF.
Because he needs a port in the storm right now, because he's about to lose his reputation, name, and money. So
And Botox.
Yeah, who better to pick it up than somebody who wants it? He's not really going to material, though.
They were saying on the report that he was doing like liposuction and body sculpting and all this other stuff too. And it's like,
It ain't working.
He
You
still
still
looks
look
like
like
a
he
Attila the Hun.
Thank you.
Shaped like a daggone Volkswagen
He
Beetle.
look like he eat more Kit Kats than I do. It's like-
you know, and it's like when I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't think that stuff works if you're sitting there stuffing like 24 donuts down your throat and not going to the gym. Like you can't cut and freaking surgicalize that stuff away. You can't.
And chicharrones is keto, so I guess that's okay on that.
Not the chicharrones.
Chicharrone.
One of the viewers says his partner should be Mark Wayne.
I can
like
see
it,
it
bro?
now. I can see it now.
Pearls officially clutched.
I'm
Yeah.
pleasant.
Maybe he needs Lindsey Graham as a partner for accountability.
Yeah, them are some pearls right
imagine?
there. Oh my god.
Could you?
Talk about clutching
I
pearls.
think Lindsay would be too dirty for Santos. I think Santos would be like, tap out. That's too much. That's too much, dog.
Well, you got orange handprints everywhere. What's happening in this house right now? It's like,
Wow. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jim Jordan sitting over there in the corner, just watching with popcorn. Turning a blind eye.
Amazing how all of this popped off, then all the scrutiny on him just magically went away. Coincidental.
you don't even know his name no more.
Thank you, Margaret, Merritt, M. Johnson, Lucky Girl, Joanne, and Breezy for your super chats tonight. Thank you, Adrian and Lena, for joining us again. It's been a long time, Adrian. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, good to see you, Adrian. Haven't seen you forever.
Likewise, guys. Thanks for having me. This is so much fun.
Reminder, next Sunday, we are skipping Becca's channel. We're going to Tarot's Apprentice next Sunday night. And then we'll come back to Becca's the following week. They're flipping weeks. And Johnny and I will post on our community tab when we're going live on Thanksgiving. We got to settle that in the after show.
And can I please make a quick little announcement too? I don't know if anybody in the chat is aware, but recently Pink, the singer, has been going around like giving away a bunch of these banned books all over. Thousands of books that have been banned to concert goers. If you can find a way to support her by listening to her music on Spotify, or you can, because she's doing a lot of good for communities. When these mother suckers are trying to take away books, she's giving them back. So thank you very much.
She's doing it in Florida.
And she's doing it in Florida.
The leg of her tour.
Yep. So good on for her. A big round of applause for.
Somebody asked me to read on will like Pink and Taylor Swift have a positive effect on our elections. Hell yes. Look how many people Taylor Swift gets to register to vote. Hell yes.
And I saw these people the other day losing their minds because Taylor Swift is having people register to vote and Pink is giving away banned books. And I'm like, if you see a political threat with voter registration and reading,
you're
it's
a
time
problem.
to reevaluate your political ideologies.
If you have a whole state that tells you we want women to have rights to their reproductive health, it's time to reassess your ideology if you're on the other side of that.
Yeah.
But everyone have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving this week. We hope you enjoy your time, or at least, if you're not with family or your family's annoying, go find some quiet space somewhere and find a way to enjoy a little bit. Find a little gratitude.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, and we will see you next Sunday.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Ciao, ciao.